Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In September of 2015, I put out videos on the death of Darryl Dawkins and Moses Malone. They were two men drafted from high school to professional basketball. They both ended up playing the majority of their careers with the Philadelphia 76ers. They died 17 days apart in direct connection with the recent NBA championship that went to the Golden State Warriors. Remember, the Warriors are originally from Philadelphia, just like the city that's connected to Moses Malone and Darryl Dawkins, who passed away. When I made those videos, I explained how their deaths were connected to not only the NBA Finals that had just passed, but also to the upcoming Pope's visit at the time. The Pope was coming to Washington, D.C. to meet the president, traveling to New York, and then traveling to Philadelphia, the nation's original capital, before leaving the country. Pope Francis ended up leaving Philadelphia on the Jesuit order's birthday, which is interesting because Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. And if you're not aware, there's many Jesuit high schools in this nation. All of them have very good basketball programs, and a lot of NBA basketball players went to Jesuit schools themselves. So in that video, I explained how the death of Moses Malone, the death of Darryl Dawkins, was connected to the prior NBA championship, the upcoming Pope's visit, and I also explained how there will probably be connections to the upcoming NBA season. As I have been documenting in numerous ways, celebrities are often sacrificed in connection to major sports events, major news stories, and there's major synchronicities between the day they die on and the date these events play out in history. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how Moses Malone's death, Darryl Dawkins' death are connected to Kobe's finish on April 13th, 2016. Kobe, like Darryl, like Moses, was drafted from high school to the pros. All men have Philadelphia connections. Kobe finished his career against the Utah Jazz. Moses Malone became the first player to go from high school to the pros, playing for the Utah Stars. We're also going to be talking about Michael Jordan and how he fits into this picture, as well as the Golden State Warriors and Kobe Bryant's father. But let's just begin here with Moses Malone dying at age 60 on September 13th, 2015, what was the first day of Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And something else I also expose on this channel is how the Zionist Jews are running the show. They are mapping things out by the numbers. They are controlling these entertainment leagues, sports leagues, Hollywood, music studios, news studios, world governments. The Zionists are running this numerological show that has been warned about from others. So Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, Moses Malone dies. And here's all that's interesting about that. The date he died on, September 13th, 2015, was a date with 57 numerology. 57 is a special number in sports. But first notice this. Rosh Hashanah, the day it was, gematria 57. Also with the S exception 75. And this Rosh Hashanah was taking place in the Hebrew calendar year 5775. Jewish calendar different than the calendar we're on, the Gregorian calendar. But anyhow, in the world of sports, 57 equals championship, equals Super Bowl, which is connected to World Series. Again, Moses Malone's death connected to the Golden State Warriors championship, which connects to Philadelphia. It was the Philadelphia Warriors who won the first NBA championship in 47. Rosh and Hashanah in simple English gematria both sum to 60. Moses Malone dead at 60 on this day. Kobe Bryant scoring 60 points in his final game, which we'll get more to. Moses Malone in gematria sums to 41. Remember, Kobe Bryant equals 41. Golden State equals 41. Joe Jellybean Bryant, Kobe's father, was drafted by the Golden State Warriors in 1975, 41 years ago this year. 41, the 13th prime. Interesting how Moses Malone and Kobe Bryant connect through 41. Kobe got checked out of the game with 4.1 seconds left, hugged everybody. The number was up on the clock for minutes. 4.1, a lot like 41. Notice Moses Malone's initials, MM. M's the 13th letter. Think about Kobe. Kobe Bryant equals 41. Moses Malone equals 41. 41's the 13th prime. M is the 13th letter. Got to show you something about the Jewish calendar. September 13th on our calendar is the 29th of Elul on the Jewish calendar last year. And what's interesting about the month of Elul in Jewish history is when Moses goes to the top of Mount Sinai and receives the commandments from God. That happens on the first day of Elul, and supposedly it happened in the year 1313 BCE. Moses Malone died on the last day of Elul. But just think about this. This is what I mean when I say the powers that be are using spiritual texts, history, and recreating history by the numbers. This is the work of madmen, and this is truly how they have the world scripted that we're living in, from sports to news. So again, I'll link the video on the death of Moses Malone. I get into it way deeper, but check this out. Brother Berg at Extra Capsa, somebody who learned from my channel and now produces his own work. Yesterday he texted me and he goes, hey, check this out, Zach. The black mamba in Jewish gematria equals 213. And when he sent that to me yesterday, I didn't connect the dots yet, but him and I have been keeping our eye on this number. There's something to this number. It shows up around death. What it makes me think of is how on our calendar, February 13th, which we'd write 2/13, that's the 44th day of the year. And the number 44 is highly associated with killing and death and destruction. So maybe 213 has this, relationship with 44 in that regard. Anyhow, they were calling Kobe's retirement game Mamba Day because his nickname is the Black Mamba. From the date Moses Malone died at age 60 until the date Kobe Bryant finished his career with 60 points was a span of 213 days. Is that a coincidence? I really don't think it was. It's also a span of 30 weeks and 3 days, kind of like 33. Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA championship 33 years ago at the end of the 82-83 season. Dawkins and Malone, part of that team. Just noticed something. Check this out. From the date of Lupercalia, which is February 13th, what we just talked about with the 213, until April 13th, the day Kobe scored 60 points, was a span of 60 days. And this comes as no surprise, really. Here's why, Truth Seeker. Last year, Lupercalia was very much connected to the NBA Finals. Check this out. From Lupercalia to the start of the NBA Finals last year was a span of 111 days, or 3 months and 22 days. And the reason that's so interesting is because in Gematria, the NBA Finals equals 111. In Jewish Gematria, 322. Last year, Lupercalia synced up perfectly in terms of days with the Gematria of NBA Finals. You might recall that Game 1 of the NBA Finals went to overtime, 98-98. Tie ball game, Game 1 of overtime, 98 points apiece. The last time the Warriors and the Cavs played before the NBA Finals was February 26, which was exactly a span of 98 days. And what 98 has to do with all this is the gematria of Lupercalia. Lupercalia is the 44th day. The small way, it equals 44. The big way, 98. And as it happens, I think Lupercalia is often measured in the world of sports. I think it's more than just basketball. As I often say, my research is ongoing. I'm always learning more. Just a moment ago, I was telling you how I thought 213 might be code for February 13th, the 44th day of the year. Then lo and behold, from February 13th to Bryant's 60-point game is 60 days. This is how my research works. Having theories, asking questions, documenting, and putting the pieces of the puzzle together as we go. So now let's jump back to what we were about to get into. Also, this date he died on, September 13th, that is a date connected to Freemasonry. September 13th, written 13/9 in most parts of the world, kind of like 139. Freemasonry equals 139. Tupac Shakur died on this date in history. Tupac Shakur equals 139. Notice that Freemasonry, the small way, equals 58. Darryl Dawkins died 17 days before Moses Malone at age 58. Moses Malone wore the number 2. 2 in gematria equals 58. In Kobe's retirement game, his 58th point was the points that put the Lakers up for the first time in the game, and then his 60th points were at the free throw line. He scored 60 points on what they called Mamba Day, which in simple English gematria sums to 60. Moses Malone dead at 60. And again, Kobe did it against the Utah Jazz. Moses Malone was drafted by the Utah Stars in 1974. Masonic equals 74. Moses Malone was the NBA MVP also in 82-83, the year the Sixers won it. From the death of Darryl Dawkins to Kobe Bryant's retirement was a span of 33 weeks. Darryl equals 33, Kobe equals 33. The game Kobe finished on, the date had 33 numerology. And here's something that a lot of people ask me not to talk about, but just realize I put out this information because I want people to know the truth and that they can see with their own eyes, understand with their own mind how sick the powers that be are. And you can disagree with me on this, but I've done a lot of work on this. I'm confident what I'm about to tell you is the truth, as sad as it is. Kobe Bryant in his final game played 42 minutes. 42 is a number stamped on black men all throughout history. It is the number that represents the N-word. Notice what the N-word is in gematria. 42. Think about Jackie Robinson with 42. Willie Mays wore 24, the reflection like Kobe Bryant. This number has been stamped on black men in many ways throughout history. And as I say that, I realize I need to correct myself. It's also been stamped on black women, such as Rosa Parks. The reason there's so much black history on buses is because bus has gematria 42. If you've never seen my work on Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and others, I'm sorry to say these were all controlled opposition used by this same gang that's been running the show, script and everything else by the numbers. But notice also the N-word in simple English gematria sums to 60, like what Kobe finished with in 42 minutes of play. Black Mamba, his nickname, has gematria 59, another number stamped all over black Americans. When you write out the number 5 alone as a word, 5 equals 42. Same with when you write out 9 as a word, it sums to 42. 5 and 9 are the only numbers that connect back to 42. 42 and 59, the numbers that get stamped on black Americans again and again. Negro equals 59, slave equals 59, blues equals 59, Michael Jordan equals 59, Motown Records came out in 59, and so much more. So Kobe, 42 minutes, 60 points, and that's sadly, in part, what it is all about. Now, with regards to Jordan and Kobe in Philadelphia, check this out. Talked about this yesterday. I want to revisit it again. Jordan's final game was with the Washington Wizards on April 16th, 2003 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia. Now get this. Kobe, in his final game, scored 101 points. Remember, Kobe's from Philadelphia. Philadelphia equals 101. He was drafted out of high school in 96. They defeated the Jazz with 96 points, a team that was stuck on 96 points for more than the final 2 minutes of the game. Very rare in an NBA game for a team not to score a single point in the last 2 minutes. Almost unheard of. But the Jazz accomplished that in the rigged outcome that transpired April 13th. Also in 96 is the year that Jordan and the Bulls set the record wins of 72 that was broken the same night Kobe retired. Now look at this. From the same night Kobe retired, scored 60 points, the Bulls played the 76ers. The 76ers finished their season 10 wins, 72 losses, the exact opposite of the Bulls record from 95-96. The same year that Kobe would be drafted into the league. The Warriors were defeating the Grizzlies for the record The new record. And again, the Warriors are originally from Philadelphia. Think about that. Warriors originally from Philadelphia. Bulls close out their season against Philadelphia. These are the tributes. All right. So I think we've established that. I hope that was clear. The scripting. In yesterday's videos, I went into deeper significance of this final score, 125-104. Anyhow, also yesterday I pointed out that Jordan came out with 1:44 left on the clock in his final game. That's a number that has to do with time. He came out with that much time left in the game for the last time. Special number in sports history. So Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they have all this significance in gematria. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant both equal 113. Michael Jordan, Black Mamba, 59. Jordan and Bryant both equal 26. Michael and Kobe, 33. Again, Kobe played his last game on a date with 33 numerology. Both men connected from North Carolina as well. Kobe was drafted into the NBA through Charlotte out of North Carolina before being traded to the Lakers. Michael Jordan was drafted out of University of North Carolina to the Bulls. These two men retired 13 years apart. North Carolina has gematria of 67. 67 in numerology breaks down to 13. Their retirement's 13 years apart. Again, Kobe Bryant equals 41, the 13th prime. But look at this. It's even deeper than that. From the date Jordan retired, April 16th, 2003, to the date Kobe played his last game, April 13th, 2016, is a span of 678 weeks. In English gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 678, Michael Jordan equals 678, Utah Jazz equals 678. Jordan once defeated the Jazz in Game 6, winning his 6th championship and then retiring. So Kobe and Jordan have now both played against the Jazz before retiring. Of course, Jordan came back from retirement after that, but there's a parallel there. Kobe also, in the beginning of the season, wrote a poem called Dear Basketball about his upcoming retirement. These same numbers. The reason all of these are 113 and 678 is because this is English gematria. You just multiply times 6. So 113 times 6, 678, just like the span of weeks between Jordan's last game and Kobe's last game. I gotta laugh at 1,300% of a year. Guess that's the same as 13 years, huh? So in yesterday's video, I also went deeper on the significance of 113, how apocalypse means revelation, and Jordan and Kobe and the Warriors have all these revelation connections. Revelation is the final book of the Bible, the 66th book of the Bible. The name Philadelphia comes from Revelation. I often talk about how Revelation was used as the playbook for the creation of this nation. So with regards to Philadelphia, Joe Jellybean Bryant, the father of Kobe, he played the majority of his career with the 76ers as well. You know, Moses Malone, Darryl Dawkins. He was drafted in 1975 by the Golden State Warriors, first round, 14th pick. 75 to 2016 is 41 years ago. Kobe Bryant equals 41. Golden State equals 41. He has connections to Golden State and Kobe. He was also the 14th pick. 14 is the reflection of 41. When you write it out in gematria, it sums to 41. What this is proof of is how well planned out and scripted these leagues are. As I've been explaining, it's about Freemasonry. It's about numerology. It's about gematria. It's about family. Been explaining this in other sports leagues. You know, the Mannings, the Manning family. Archie Manning, a loser his whole career, never won anything. Now his sons, both professional quarterbacks in the league, winning Super Bowls. The last time Peyton won his Super Bowl, Eli won the next year. Peyton's now won his second Super Bowl. We'll see what happens with Eli this year. A lot's being foreshadowed. Also, Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry. Del Curry, a former NBA player. He played against Jordan when he was a member of the Charlotte Hornets in the Bulls' record-winning season. Del Curry was the 73rd opponent of the Bulls that year. Now his son breaks the Bulls' record with 73 wins. Think about it. In regards to all this 41, Kobe came off the court with 4.1 seconds. I'm always talking about how the NBA uses the shot clock to communicate numbers of significance. Big ceremony with 4.1 on. This went on for minutes. Kobe hugging people, walking around. His last time coming out of a game. Kobe's farewell. On ESPN2, that at the same time the Warriors were on ESPN1. $60 points on 50 attempts. Utah equals 50. Kobe Bryant with the K exception has gematria 50. It's also scripted, Truth Seeker. So in yesterday's video, I got deeper on this. Joe Jellybean Bryant retired at the end of the 83 season, the same year the 76ers won 33 years ago. He was playing for the Houston Rockets at the time. It's interesting that this year's college championship was in Houston. College and the NBA interconnected in terms of scripting. Again, Kobe played his high school ball in Philadelphia at Lower Merion. He wore the number 33 there. Lower Merion in gematria sums to 66. When you write out 33, it sums to 66. Lakers equals 66. This year, his final season, he started in 66 games with the Lakers. You can make that out. You can look up his stats and verify this. He started 66 games in his final season. It's also interesting to note that Kobe Bryant stood 6 feet 6 inches tall. You know, sometimes they fudge the stats. Makes you wonder just how Manchurian these guys are. Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible. Again, the name Philadelphia, where this high school is. Philadelphia comes from the book of Revelation. 66, Revelation, the 66th book. Think about it. Graduated in 96, Freemason equals 96. Defeats the Jazz with 96 points, the same year the Bulls set their record. 13th pick overall to Charlotte. Look who was number one that year. The Philadelphia 76ers had the top pick. They took AI, the Truth, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame right after Villanova won their scripted college championship. Again, Mamba Day, they were calling it. Media kept emphasizing Mamba Day. Before the game, Mamba Day equals 60 the big way and 24 the small way. He scores 60, number 24 on Mamba Day, which, you know, had connections such as the death of Moses Malone as well. It's not all fun and games. It's part of a bigger, sicker picture. If you guys listened to my video in September, I'm saying in that video, you know, I'm tired of doing these videos showing how these people are dying by the numbers, how history is scripted. How isn't this information getting out there? Isn't there a world of millions of sports fans? You think this information would go viral? There's probably 1 million people in the United States wearing a Kobe jersey right now. Maybe more than 1 million. How can't this information get 1 million views in the age of the internet, smartphones, streaming capability everywhere? Doesn't make sense. You want to see just how deep and stupid this scripting is, Truth Seeker? This past year, I was showing how Peyton Manning wasn't really injured. Either was Andrew Luck. I was showing how their injuries were synced up by the numbers. Peyton Manning came out after his 322nd pass, special number to the Masons. Andrew Luck quit playing after his 55th game, which was tied to the Broncos and their scripted Super Bowl. The Broncos were in their 55th year of existence. John Elway was 55 years old. In Super Bowl 24, the Broncos with John Elway lost to the 49ers 55-10. This year, the Broncos won the Super Bowl in San Francisco. I was showing months before the Super Bowl happened that it was all locked up for the Broncos. This scripting goes all the way around. But anyway, I'm bringing that up because of the fake injuries for Manning and Luck. Look at this. April 13th, 2013, the big news story was that Kobe Bryant had torn his Achilles, supposedly, and was going to be out for months. What team did he do it against? He did it against the Golden State Warriors. I guarantee you this fraud of a human being faked this injury, and his Achilles wasn't really torn. I've been ridiculed for showing this before. I've shown in other sports, such as Sam Bradford. I guarantee you Sam Bradford didn't tear his Achilles when he was still with the Rams. Fake. Achilles equals 33, Kobe equals 33, Golden State equals 33, Sam equals 33. Look at the score of that game where he tore his Achilles, 33 points. They do this again and again. They fake injuries by the numbers. They're connected to future events. And think about this. This 33 spectacle came 3 years before April 13th, 2016. The Warriors and Kobe are both breaking records on the same night that are intertwined. This is really what's going on. This is what people are paying for. You know, thousands of people are in this stadium that paid way too much for these tickets to watch this kind of bullshit. Fake injuries. Unbelievable. April 13th, 2013 news, 3 years to the day. Kobe and the Warriors. 96-101, you know what it's all about? Completely rigged. Kobe got his 6th 60-point game against 6 plus 60, 66 like Lakers, like how he played 66 games in the season. In the beginning, we were talking about Moses Malone, the Catholic Church, Jesuits. Check this out. This is what I documented recently in the Villanova tournament. Pope Francis left the United States on September 27th, 2015, which is the Jesuit order's birthday. The Jesuit order is also known as the Society of Jesus. The Society of Jesus. From the date Pope Francis left, September 27th, 2015, until the date Villanova, the Catholic school, won the college championship by the numbers, was a span of 191 days. The Society of Jesus, which had their birthday on September 27th, the day Pope Francis left, that was 191 days before Villanova won. And Society of Jesus equals 191. Again, the Masons, the Zionists, the Jesuits, the powers that be, the secret societies, they are operating through this numerological code. They are scripting history. They are rigging events, and they're doing it all by the numbers. This is what I was talking about months and months before it actually happened. Now here it is. It's all as transparent as can be. A lot of people are mad at me because I called the college championship wrong. I thought North Carolina was going to win. It's because I overlooked that Villanova was connected to Philadelphia. I didn't realize that until too late in the game after they knocked out Kansas. What else is interesting, though, is 191 is the 43rd prime number. Villanova scored 43 in the second half, 34 in the first half. They defeated the Tar Heels. Tar Heels equals 34 and 43. Champion equals 43. Again, 191, the 43rd prime. Jesus equals 74. Christ equals 77. The Society of Jesus. Jesus Christ. Villanova got their 35th win on the season. Catholic equals 35. Only one Catholic president in history, number 35, JFK. They also got their 57th win in tournament history. In the beginning, I talked about how 57 equals championship equals Super Bowl. Moses Malone died on a date with 57 numerology. First day of Rosh Hashanah. Show you something else here real quick, Truth Seeker. All of these deaths that I have linked here are connected to Philadelphia in basketball. Dolph Schayes was a member of the Syracuse Nationals who became the Philadelphia 76ers. He had a suspicious death this year. Died on a date with 57 numerology. You know, connected to Philadelphia. Also born on a date with 35 numerology. This is what I mean when I say the powers that be are sacrificing celebrities based on how their numbers connect to what they have scripted. These guys have the numbers of Catholic, championship, all the elements that are intertwined in this rigging. Now, one last point. The NBA Finals will very likely be a repeat of last year's finals, the Warriors and the Cavs. On Kobe's going away party, the 400 lower level seat fans got this toy that was supposed to be a Kobe Bryant action figure. There's headlines about how this figure looks more like LeBron James than Kobe Bryant. And just notice, they even put a headband on him. I know LeBron's not wearing the headband anymore, but LeBron's known for wearing the headband. I don't think Kobe's ever been known for wearing a headband. And while in the face, this doesn't look anything like Kobe, it doesn't really look like LeBron either. But if you had to ask me if that was LeBron or Kobe and all I could see was the head, I'd say, I guess it's LeBron. Is this foreshadowing? Is this a subtle clue as to what the future of LeBron is? There's a lot of speculation that he might leave Cleveland again. I've shown in the past how there's alignment for New York if he does. Should be noted, though, that LeBron equals 66 like Lakers. Again, Kobe, 66 games in his final season. Also think about how LeBron, taken from high school to the pros, like Kobe, like Moses Malone, like Darryl Dawkins. In the history of the league, there's been 43 men to go from high school to the pros. Might be a little clue there. You know, Kobe's done. Now the major superstar that's left that went from high school to the pros, the only one really remaining is LeBron himself. Kevin Garnett getting a little bit too old. But let's close out right here. These two men. Lots of men like this run the show. These are the Zionist Jews. These are the people who are responsible for the deaths and the rigging by the numbers. These are the people who need to be accountable. There's a reason that Judaism and Jews have been banned from so many countries in history. There's a reason that they now control the media in the minds of the masses and have taught the masses to have sympathy for no one but them, the Jewish people, telling people that Jews are God's chosen people. You know, we live in a world where people are educated not to care about the genocide of the natives that gave birth to the nation, not to care about these other genocides that have taken place in Russia and Armenia and Africa. None of those matter. But what's always reinforced is constant Jew sympathy, sympathy for the Holocaust, something that never happened, something that's an outright fraud, something that's a rigged part of history, contrived by this same gang. This is who needs to be accountable. My research is way bigger than exposing what's going on with the rigging in the NBA. It's about helping people see the light of what is really wrong in this world and who's responsible for it. It's scum like this. People have no shame, the worst of the worst. So I'm going to link these other videos I've done. There's a whole lot more important information that I talked about in these videos and the videos I put out in September. They'll all be linked in the description. This stuff is just so disgusting, Truth Seeker, and really I hate making these videos. There's a million things I'd rather be doing right now. The reason I'm making this video is because I keep thinking, eventually this is going to get out and some justice will be served. You know, that's the goal here. I don't make any money off this. It takes a lot of my time. I do it because I know it's a just cause, and I'm out for justice. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.